Panama City. 850-960-8664. For the latest deals and specials, follow Tommy Autos on Facebook. Add tag, tax, and title.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. Waking up every day, lifting him from the bed to the wheelchair to the car to get him to therapy on time. It's no small task between the doctors and the diagnosis, but nothing can disable this love. This is my big brother, my hero. He's part of me, like my arms and legs. So I'll be his. See, there's no time for tired. This starts again tomorrow. He'll be waiting for me. I wake up for him. I know he needs me, but I'm the lucky one. Even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 877-333-5885. Caregiving Resource Center. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
School sports are played by humans, coached by humans, and officiated by humans. So the next time you're sitting in the stands at a school athletic event, please remember this and maintain your humanity, especially when it comes to judging and critiquing athletes, coaches, and officials. Please show your fellow humans some respect. They'll appreciate your empathy.
This message presented by the FHSAA and the Florida Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Fort St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, we're taking the inside drive with Ryan Mulvey.
I love it.
Broadcasting from the Gulf Plus studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good morning, Northwest Florida. You are on ESPN 104.3. This is the Inside Drive. James Fife filling in for Ryan Mulvey on this beautiful Thursday morning. With me this morning, Coach Brian Haddad. How you doing, Coach?
Doing well, James. Doing well.
And as always, David Hayes hitting the buttons, making it happen, going out to that worldwide thing we call radio.
What's going on? And shout out to Buffalo Rock. Got a whole new load of Buffalo Rock products.
I saw the distribution coming in this morning. I enjoyed it quite much. Grabbed me a couple of Pepsis and Dr. Peppers on the way in. Psyched up and ready to go. Because I'm not a coffee person. So like my daily coffee is is like my Pepsi and my Dew.
And best I could tell, we only dropped one case, but that's earmarked for Coach Hale. So
yeah, exactly. Just one, and that'll be for Coach Hale.
Case roulette, put 3 or 4 out there. All right, which one you going to grab, guys? We are ESPN Northwest Florida. You can call us. You can text us 850-215-62 888-290. We are the home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast. No Braves baseball today, so the Braves will not be on the airwaves. Braves will return tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock after the afternoon underdogs for pregame festivities. First pitch will be 6:15. The Braves heading back to Truist Park and hopefully get onto a winning streak because they get to play the Colorado Rockies. So Braves, guys, taking on the worst team out there. Yes, I know right now you guys might feel like you're probably not the best team out there, but guys, you are better than the Rockies. I believe in you. Let's go for a sweep at home over the weekend. And head on over to ESPNPC.com because the Best of Bay is upon us again this year. We have two shows, two personalities that are nominated to the Best of Bay for Best Radio Personality. We have Ryan Mulvey and we have Coach James Hale. So head on over ESPNPC.com and vote. That prize was won last year by this show and Mr. Ryan Mulvey. So let's keep that award right here in-house, ESPN 104.3 Northwest Florida. And be sure to download our app. Take us with you everywhere you go. We're in the Google Store. We're in the Apple Store. And we're also on the airwaves 104.3. You can find all of our social medias. We're on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. I already said YouTube, and Facebook. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe out there. Let's get the show started by going over some of the scores from last night. Last night, we saw the Philadelphia Phillies taking on the Chicago Cubs in Philadelphia. Phillies put a walloping on the Cubs, who were just never in that game, 7-2. Atlanta Braves get back to the winning ways against the Milwaukee Brewers. Braves get 6 runs, Brewers 2 runs, Braves 29-38 on the season now. Rays taking on the Braves this game. Rays taking on the Red Sox. I don't know why I saw a red B there and said Braves. Don't ask. I don't know. Rays taking on the Red Sox. Tampa Bay Rays 3, the Red Sox 4 in Fenway Park. I don't know how to read tonight, guys. Oh, man, I am with it. The Marlins, they are in Miami. Taking on the Pirates. They are in Pittsburgh. That game ended in a 5-2 score in favor of the Pirates. Guardians taking on the Cincinnati Reds in the Battle of Ohio. The Guardians put an absolute beating on to the Cincinnati Reds, 11-2. Blue Jays taking on the Cardinals. This game taking place in St. Louis. The Blue Jays beat the Cardinals 5-2. Mariners taking on the Diamondbacks in Arizona. Diamondbacks get the win there, 5-2 over the Seattle Mariners. Eugenio Suarez gets a grand slam on the night. That is grand slam number 4 for the season for Eugenio Suarez. Right now leading Major League Baseball in grand slams. I remember a couple years ago when he was still playing for the Reds, he had a similar run where he had 5 grand slams in one season to lead the league. So man likes to hit when people are on base, and I'm sure the manager loves that fact about him. Angels taking on the Athletics. This game down in Anaheim. Angels win the game 6-5 over the Athletics. Padres and Dodgers taking place in San Diego. The Dodgers get the win 5-2. The Orioles put the walloping on the Tigers in Baltimore. The Orioles 10, Tigers 1. Nationals get blanked by the Mets in New York 5-0. The New York Yankees defeat the Royals 6-3. I do believe that makes a sweep for that series. Rangers taking on the Twins. Rangers 2, Twins 6. The White Sox taking on the Astros. The Astros get the win this evening, 10-2 over the White Sox, last evening. And one of my bets yesterday, the San Francisco Giants, 10 runs. The Rockies, 7 ones. That is loss number 55 on the season for the Rockies. They just keep on collecting them.
They're already 28 games back in the NL West.
It's crazy just how bad they are. And still, I'd say it every time, they're not even the lowest paid team in baseball. Yeah. Not even the second lowest paid team in baseball, but are absolutely this year, for some reason, the worst team in baseball. Just bad bad. Game number 3 last night, NBA Finals, and we will discuss more NBA Finals with Doc A in our next segment, but we'll go ahead and get the score out for all of you to know. The Pacers got the early lead, lost it in the first quarter, but gained it back and never looked back after that. 116 for the Pacers, 107 for the Thunder. That means the Pacers have the 2-1 series lead. A little bit shocking to me. I really thought the Thunder were going to have, kind of a gentleman sweep thing going on here, and that it would have been a 5-game, win for the Thunder. But the Thunder want to have that win now. Looks like it's going to have to be past Game 5 into Game 6 or 7. Although, when we get into the last, always the championship rounds, I always want to see 7s. Because I know that when those championship rounds are done, sport be done for a while. And you know what? I like watching sports. So, hey, NBA, if you can swing it for me, give me 7 games, because it looks like the NHL's probably going 7 games as well. Just give me more chances to spend time inside, because right now, super, super hot outside. Just got a text in from Alert Bay, and they are letting me know that the flags out there on the beach today are yellow. So get out there, enjoy the beach, be safe out there. Take your radio with you in ESPN 104.3 Northwest Florida. Some news from last night. Cale Makar, the defenseman for the Colorado Avalanche, has won the Norris Trophy. That trophy is handed out to the best defenseman in the NHL, as chosen by the NHL writers. This is the second time that Cale Makar has won the Norris Trophy, so congratulations to Cale Makar. Jake Wallman of the Edmonton Oilers has been fined $10,000 by the NHL for 2 separate incidents in Game 3. The first incident coming in the second period when Wallman was taking his, water bottle that he had on the bench, leaning over the bench and just spraying the Panthers bench. So that cost him 5. And then he also gets another 5 tacked on for a roughing against Keith Tkachuk during the third period when one of the other guys for the Oilers was holding on to Tkachuk. And, Wallman was just taking a couple little pop shots with the glove on right there on the chin to Tkachuk. So that cost him another 5. He did get 4 minutes worth of penalties out of that situation, too. So not only do you sit down for 4 minutes, you also get to give $5,000 to the NHL that they will donate to, I'm sure, some kind of organization somewhere along the line. Tigers rookie Jackson Jobe will be undergoing Tommy John surgery. That will happen later this week. He will miss the rest of the season because Tommy John surgery, that is usually what happens. Dr. Keith Meister will be performing the surgery. He is also the one that just did the surgery for A.J. Smith-Shawver, so he apparently is one that teams like to go call out to make sure that the right things happen. But I'm pretty sure if you can get a good name for yourself, that's probably a nice gig to have, just doing the same surgery over and over again on athletes, and they're going to be coming in because those guys just blow those UCLs on those fastballs, junk balls, all that kind of stuff. So,
you think the fight with insurance is a little bit easier with baseball players' insurance?
I don't know. It's still going to be a workers' comp claim because it was an injury at work. So you got to remember that is a workers' compensation claim. Now, I'm sure the teams probably help you out a little bit more than, some businesses that I've worked for in the past when you file a claim and they're not super helpful with it. But I can see, Major League Baseball wanting to get those guys fixed and back out as quick as possible because, there's a lot of money in those arms sometimes. You can look at some of these guys that are getting paid how many millions a year to throw the ball. Trust me, you want those guys back as quick and healthy as possible, of course. Marcus Stroman of the New York Yankees had a rehab start last night in Double-A, going 3 1/3 innings, giving up 1 run. Stanton also made his second Double-A rehab start, going 2 for 3 last night with a walk and 3 RBIs. They were also playing the Portland Sea Dogs last night as they were the night before. So good information coming in on that. Let's see, some NFL news. Logan Cook, the Jaguars punter, is now the highest paid punter in the NFL. 4-year deal, $4 million a year. Cook leads the NFL with 43.5 yards per punt, and that is since 2018 that he has been kicking the ball that far. So good on him. But, oh, man, that $4 million a year for a punter. Some of these prices are getting crazy to me, guys.
Hey, just make it to the league, and you make a nice little bag if you're the best at your position.
That's true, man. Just be the best at whatever it is you do. Because for the longest time, I remember the Titans had the highest paid punter in the league for many, many, many years with, Craig Hentrick.
Yeah, he was paid like a couple bucks per punt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was making tons of money, but he was also punting the ball a ton of times. So, yeah, if you wanted to break it down into money per punt, it probably got pretty low on a paycheck. Yes, Kern, VP, Kern, Hendrick, those guys all were the highest paid punters for Titans in the league. It always just so crazy. Texans signed Nick Chubb to a 1-year, $2.5 million contract, and if all of the other things and bonuses hit, could be worth up to $5 million. Now, I don't think Chubb's going to be the guy there. Anybody else? No?
Not the number one guy.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be a number one guy. I can see him being more of like a change of pace style guy, especially at the goal line, because he's still a big guy.
And I guess changing the pace from whatever the initial pace is going to be, which is probably going to be east and west with some power there. I'm trying to think of the number one running back, but Dameon Pierce, I believe, is
Who was it,
there.
Mixon last year?
Yes, it was. That's right, because they got him from the Bengals. I mean, I have no problem with it with this signing. Outside of this, if it does work out, it's not good from the Tennessee Titans fan perspective.
No.
But I like that for them. As a fan of football, like if I'm a Texans fan, I love this move because it's what's the risk? What is it, $5 million?
2.5, and he's got another 2.5 in bonus, so the only thing counting against your cap is the 2.5.
For Nick Chubb?
Yep.
The possibility? Mm-hmm. Yes, of course. It's like the Braves with Alex Verdugo, a year for $1.5 million. Yes, we'll take that. We'll take that risk.
Oh, speaking of Verdugo, I had a question from my cousin last night because he was listening to us and discussing, trades possibly for the Braves. That's a name that he threw out as, being a possible trade, especially after you get Profar back.
Yeah, I just don't know what the real value comes with him. Like if you can sell him off, great. But being that he's just on a year contract, what are other teams going to give back that are not on a year deal themselves? You know what I'm saying? What's the maybe a prospect?
I can see like a good prospect, probably a AA level prospect, not ready to go yet, but a prospect that has something. Because you got to realize Verdugo is putting good numbers out there, and he's a $1.5 million. So by the time he gets to another team halfway through the season, you're down to owing the guy, $750,000. That's not a lot of money to pay out for somebody that if you lose somebody in the outfield, he'd be a great platoon guy to send on out there. So I could see it as like an insurance piece for, they're not going to trade in conference with the Mets, but somebody like the Mets if they lose an outfielder.
I mean, very, very real possibility. I guess it wouldn't surprise me one way or the other. I just don't think he's an attractive trade piece is what I'm getting at. I think he could be moved, and I don't think that it would move the Atlanta Braves line. He came in and provided a spark, but it's not like he's a night in, night out, concrete piece of the lineup.
Yeah. A useful piece and, great piece,
nice
especially when you lose Profar, because you were planning on, platooning him through the outfield, and, that's 80 games gone. So I could see him being a useful piece. It's not going to be a build piece. It's going to be a depth piece for somebody. Because, let's face it, guy's in his mid-30s now. So you're not going to have him even long-term. Even if he does come to you and says, I'll sign a 2-year contract, then that's still all you're really probably going to see out of somebody like that.
Yeah.
All right, Knicks asked if they could talk to Billy Donovan of the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls have said no. So that is now 5 teams that have told the Knicks, no, you can't talk to our coach. So what are the Knicks going to be doing, guys? That's one of those when we're definitely going to be talking to Doc A about this. Like, you fired the guy that got you to the East. You fired the guy that, got you plenty of wins. You got the guy that took you from a team that had 32 wins 3-4 years ago to Eastern Conference Finals, first time you've been there in 25 years, and you let the guy go. I mean, you do more than let the guy go. Like, saying let the guy go sounds like contract ran out and you let him walk. No, you fired him. So, yeah, it's one of those things that you just kind of look at it and go, all right, Knicks, what are you doing here? It's like reminding me of like the Mets sometimes. Sometimes teams just can't step out of their own way when that train is coming, and they just stare at it and it goes right on over them. Crazy times that we are living in.
What if they go for Becky Hammon?
Oh, I don't know.
I think Mike Malone is probably the guy who's who it'll end up being. You've got Mike D'Antoni out there. They haven't had D'Antoni before, have they?
I think they have.
They love Becky Hammon. I mean, nobody appreciates someone who can throw their team under the bus better than New York fans. And she is great at throwing their own team under the bus. So,
that tire was heavy underneath the back of that wheel.
Yeah, he coached the Knicks 2008 to 2012.
So he was there even for a hot minute. So, yeah, sounds like another separation where the Knicks said, hey, we'll let you go, and then the Knicks run around.
So I don't think they would go back with him. You got Sam Cassell. I mean, really, yeah. And I don't know many of the other names that are on here. David Jorger and James Borrego. So
calling it right now. New head coach of the New York Knicks, Stephen A. Smith.
That would be so interesting.
Well, why not? The Lakers got their coach from podcast land,
Yeah, I mean,
granted, he did play in the league, but
he played in the league, and he was an analyst on ESPN. He kind of followed the status quo, right? Or do you normally go to coaching, I guess, and then
coaching,
some level of coaching, then television, then they bring you back.
Yeah,
they didn't need to do that. He'll go talk about it and then coach it up. Yay!
I mean, all they needed to do in L.A. was hire someone to go, LeBron, that's a good idea. That's what they got.
It's kind of what they did.
Yep.
That is absolutely what they did. And they got a guy that's telling them that they got to run more or not in shape. Well, whose job is to get these guys in shape then?
Clearly not his.
Oh, no. Like, we got LeBron out there, making sure that all those guys are set and ready to go.
You got Frank Vogel out there.
Yeah, we do. We do. That's, it's a name at least, right?
He won a championship with the Lakers.
Who did the Nuggets? The guy they just let go,
Mike Malone.
Malone, yeah, he's the leader, right?
I would have. I mean, I don't know what we can say about leader, maybe in terms of odds.
Yeah,
but if they're looking for other guys and getting shut down at every corner,
yeah. And then the Grizzlies fired their coach in the season.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to remember who else is available. Who knows?
Yeah, Rick Pitino said no, so that's, you're in a bad place when Rick Pitino's
the Jay Wright one was interesting to me because three of those guys on the team played for him at Nova, but I got the impression when Jay Wright got out of coaching, he wanted out of coaching. And I don't think he's ever been a part of an NBA staff, has he? He was always a college guy. Is that right?
I think so.
That would be my assumption.
Yeah, I mean, it's a different game, so. I mean, nowadays it's becoming very similar, but... it's what it is.
Yeah, it's a different game, but I'll agree, especially now that we're going to see a lot more payments from universities going to athletes. We're probably going to get to see the same kind of game going on now.
Yeah, Jay Wright was an assistant at a number of small schools.
Okay, so not an NBA guy. So might want to take that step. He's
already said no. But then again, no coach has ever said no and then taken a job. So
that's true. That is very, very true. All right, up next, we'll be discussing more NBA with Doc A. We'll discuss last night's game and just everything else to do with the NBA. This is the Inside Drive, sponsored by Golf Plus. BRB.
Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
I
I buy socks from the supermarket. Is that weird?
Yes, that's strange. Supermarket socks?
I support it.
You're going to rip every sock anyway.
No, some socks are very nice. If you want to take care of them.
There's a certain level of comfort.
I like supermarket socks.
Well, if you like it, then you like it.
Yeah, you like it, but I assume that you like it because you don't know no better.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle. Weekdays 5 to 7 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. Mostly sunny and likely thunderstorms this afternoon and evening with a wind at 10 miles per hour out of the south and a high of 86. Tonight, look for a mixture of mostly clear skies and a chance of thunderstorms with a temperature near 79. Tomorrow, a high around 85 and some sun in the morning, followed by light sprinkles. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Your biggest investment is your home. Protect it while also improving its appearance with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. We have sand, mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
TK Vandy Roofing and General Contracting is a fifth-generation contracting company based right here out of Bay County. TK Vandy's expertise in commercial and residential roofing, as well as a design-build general contractor, set them aside as a versatile and fresh alternative to achieve your construction needs. Contact TK Vandy Roofing, 850-866-9908, or email support@tkvandy.com. They can't wait to help you.
Broadcasting from the Gulf Plus studios, it's the Inside Drive. Join the best of day winning Inside Drive with all your lines, props, and covers.
Winning
on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tuned into the Inside Drive. James Fife here, Coach Brian Haddad, and David Hayes. Sponsored by Golf Plus. So if you have any golfing needs right now that need to be taken care of, head on over to Golf Plus. Shops at Edgewater and up in Dothan, Alabama, off of Montgomery Highway. All of the golfing accessories, tools, clubs, bags, shirts, everything you can think of for golf. Golf Plus has it. And on the line with us, great friend of the show, Steven Alexander, better known as Doc A, NBA writer and analyst with 22 years with the Roto World and NBC Sports, now with ESPN and the Roto Wire. Doc A, how is this Thursday treating you so far, my friend?
Yeah, you just reminded me that I have a $100 Golf Plus gift card that I won for the Masters tournament you guys had.
Excellent.
And I probably need to send that to somebody who can use it down there. I'll get on that this afternoon.
Absolutely. I am sure there are plenty of people around here that are big-time golf fans that would be quite happy with your decision right there, Doc A. So, last night, game number 3, exciting game last night. Pacers, though, just kind of had the lead, really just held on to it throughout the game, 116-107. What did you see last night, Doc?
OKC was up the first half. Like, they kind of controlled the first half of the game, and then second half was pretty tight. We got to the fourth quarter, and Oklahoma City took a little bit of a – I think they had a 4-point lead. I was a little nervous that I'm from Indiana, so I'm kind of pulling for the Pacers here. And I was nervous that OKC was going to run away with it, and the Pacers just said no. And Benedict Mathurin off the bench for the Pacers was pretty amazing. And if you look at the box score for that game, Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, and Shai Gilgeous, and Lou Dort, all starters for the Thunder, all played extremely well. And then you look at the Pacers, and Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton both played well. But all of their punch came from the bench. You had Mathurin with 27 points off the bench. And then he gave McConnell 10 points 5 assists and 5 steals. And those 5 steals, man, T.J. McConnell, I don't think that Oklahoma City game planned for T.J. McConnell. And he's just a dog out there, man. He just never takes a play off, hustles more than anybody else. And he just sniffed out loose balls last night and picked off like 4 not horrible passes from OKC. So huge win for Indiana. I think the team that wins Game 4 on Friday, which is back at Indiana, the team that wins Game 4 probably going to win the series.
All right, I like that take on it. So Pacers at home. How you liking the Pacers at home since you are a Indiana guy?
Well, I mean, last night the crowd was huge. They all had their the shirts say, but this is Indiana, and that's the whole. In 49 states, it's just basketball, but this is Indiana. Like basketball is king in Indiana, and the crowd. I tell you what, man. The last time the Pacers were in the finals was 25 years ago. I was at game. I don't know if it was Game 4 or Game 5 against the Lakers, and the Pacers won that game. I was there. I was sitting right near the TV crew, and Shaq and Kobe were on that team. So I saw the Pacers beat that team. But the Lakers went on to win the finals that year. The Pacers have never won a title in the NBA. So this is pretty exciting stuff up there. I haven't seen a point spread yet. What is it? 4.5 maybe?
See if I can find it real
OKC. Quick. Oklahoma City minus 5.5.
There we go. Ooh,
so,
that one's a good one.
And that's the same as what we had yesterday. So I think this time, if I was going to bet this game, I think I would take Oklahoma City minus the 5.5 because I don't know if the Pacers can do this twice in a row. The thing is, with Oklahoma City, like I've been saying all year, they're the best team in the league. Nobody matches up with them. No one can hang with them in a 7-game series. And while I'm very pleased and very excited about what the Pacers have done, for them to win 2 in a row against this team would really be something. So I feel like the Thunder are going to get some revenge here, and then the Pacers are going to have to go win a game at OKC again, like they did in Game 1.
So is this looking like a 7-game series right now?
Here's before it started, I bet Oklahoma City was going to win it in exactly 6 games, and I bet the Pacers are going to win it in 7. And that way, kind of hedged a little bit, but they both had really good odds. So I'm going to make money either way if one of those things pans out. Like I said, I think the winner of Game 4 wins the series. So if Pacers win Game 4, I think they're going to win it in 7. If Oklahoma City wins Game 4, it would not surprise me to see them win Games 5 and 6. So I think that's where I am there.
Who's your MVP right now of the playoffs?
Of the playoffs?
Of the whole playoffs, like, yeah. Who's the guy that's still playing that you think is the MVP for the entire playoff run?
You know, I'm going to say Tyrese Halliburton because of all the big shots, all the memorable moments, the fact that the Pacers were not supposed to be here, and now they've got a lead in the finals, a 2-1 lead in the finals. Are you kidding? And I feel like he got ripped off in the Eastern Conference Final MVP when he was on his way to the podium to collect his hardware, and they announced that they were giving it to Pascal Siakam. Not even to mention the fact that Tyrese was voted the most overrated player by his peers. His father got into it with Giannis, and he got banned from games. There's just so much. I've been saying this whole playoffs that the Pacers are a team of destiny, and it really feels like they are. So I would say Tyrese Halliburton.
Now, I have seen a lot of guys coming off of the bench throughout these playoffs to make a big difference for their teams. Who right now is the 6th man in this playoff?
That is a great question. I haven't really thought about it. I would say in the finals, Matherin's performance last night and also in the first couple games, Matherin is in the running for that. Maybe Isaiah Hartenstein for Oklahoma City. But right now I feel like this is Matherin's time. And he didn't do much in the regular season. And that's the cool thing about the finals and the playoffs is you see guys suddenly come alive that didn't do much in the regular season, and Matherin has been that guy for the Pacers.
So the Pacers have been using a much deeper bench throughout the playoffs. Do you think that is going to make a difference heading into some of these final games? Are the fresher legs, the stars not being used as much by the Pacers, going to make a difference coming up?
I don't know. Neesmith fouled out last night, so they didn't have a choice with him. Everybody else for the Pacers played at least 30 minutes. And everybody for OKC played, 30 minutes with the exception of Cason Wallace, who played 24. This is the finals, and I don't think it really matters. Both of these teams have deep benches. Both of them use their bench. I mean, OKC played 6 guys off their bench last night. Indiana played 5 guys off their bench. Now, the Indiana guys played more minutes. Obi Toppin, T.J. McConnell, and Benedict Matherin. That's the difference. Those guys are having a huge impact on these games, whereas the Oklahoma City bench, it's mostly Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein that are doing big things and big minutes off their bench. So the Pacers are using their bench a little more effectively, I'd say, than OKC, but it's the finals. It doesn't matter. There's no time to be tired.
Going to switch a little bit of gears here and go away from the finals, and let's just talk about the drama that is the New York Knicks. So the Knicks still looking for a coach, and other teams out there just telling the Knicks, no, you're not going to talk to our coach. So what are the Knicks to do right now?
I don't know, man. They probably should have never fired Tibbs in the first place.
I will agree with that.
Hilarious. It is hilarious, man, because it's like, the Knicks asked the Mavericks if they could talk to Jason Kidd, and the Mavericks said no, and they asked this team, and they asked this team. It's like they fired Tom Thibodeau, who did a really good job, and nobody really saw him being fired coming. But they have no game plan whatsoever. Like, their game plan was to go try to steal someone else's coach who still has a job. Now, with all the firings that took place, Taylor Jenkins got fired by Memphis during the season. Michael Malone got fired by Denver, and there were a couple other ones. I'm surprised that those people are not in the headlines for becoming the Knicks head coach. But just the way this looks, it just adds to what has been, in my opinion, the weirdest year in NBA history, between the Luka trade and all these coach firings and the Pacers making a run to the finals. It's just been a really strange year in the NBA. And the fact that Knicks fired Thibodeau and have no plan whatsoever to find a coach is just laughable. Like, what are you doing?
Do you think even the Knicks have to come up and ask Thibodeau, hey, would you like your job back?
At this point, I think a lot of people wish they would do that, but that ain't happening, man. You can't. I think Tibbs would tell them to stick it where the sun doesn't shine, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I would totally agree on that one, because that is. I just got done doing the show here, and I was walking around Walmart with my wife doing some shopping, and I pull my phone out, and the first thing I see is Knicks fired Tibbs, and it was, on the internet, so I was like, joke, ha, this is The Onion or something, and then had to dig into it, and I was like, wait, they really fired him. That one is probably the one that caught me the most off guard in terms of the NBA coach firings this year, because it, to me, just made the least sense.
That one didn't surprise me as much as Denver firing Malone right as they're getting ready to start the playoffs. Like, Denver won it. I mean, Denver's good. Denver won a championship. They have Nikola Jokic. Malone's a really good coach. With Tibbs, I mean, Tibbs did a good job with the Knicks, but I don't think the Knicks could go any higher than they went. Like, Karl Anthony Towns is limited. Jalen Brunson, I think, has been exposed a little bit. He's really good. I really like him. But I just think that team went as far as they could go. And you add into it that Tibbs plays all those guys 35 minutes a night, and he hardly uses his bench at all. And he has a reputation of running players into the ground. And really, what I've heard is the only guy that was fully on board with Tibbs was Jalen Brunson. Everybody else was like, we don't really know what our role is or what. I mean, we're just out there running and playing. So it doesn't. I'm not totally shocked that Tibbs was fired, and I think he may have lost some of those guys. And he's a very hard-nosed, hardcore coach, and a lot of these teams are turning towards younger, more player-friendly coaches, which I don't necessarily agree with, but it just sort of is what it is. So I wasn't dumbfounded by it, but I was surprised. I was like you talked about the Onion, and you had to go look at the internet to find out if it was true. Like, that was me when Luka Doncic got traded.
Yeah.
You know, it was like 12:30 at night on a Friday, and I'm in a bar, and I see it go across the screen on the TV, and I was like, oh, wait a second. That cannot possibly be true. And I got on my phone, and it was true, and I just, you, man, I was like, I can't believe it.
That's really how I felt about Mike Malone, as you mentioned how that one caught us off guard. Do you feel like with the Nuggets taking the Thunder to 7 games in that series, do you think Mike Malone would have been the difference maker and we would have seen Denver win? I know it's tough, it's a what if, hypothetical, all that good stuff, but do you think that he would have been a big enough of a difference maker for Denver to move on?
That's a great call, dude. I hadn't even thought about that. Because that was a great series. And Denver, yeah, I mean, I think that's completely possible. And I heard Michael Malone lost the Denver locker room because of the support he was giving Russell Westbrook and how he was coddling Russell Westbrook, and some of the guys didn't like it, whatever. I don't really care about all that when the playoffs are here. You know, like you put your differences aside. Everybody wants to win a championship. And you put the differences aside and figure all that, figure that stuff out in the summertime. Let's go play basketball. And that's a good call, because I do think Malone could have made a difference there. Malone's a great coach. I can't believe that the Knicks and him have not gotten together, really.
Yeah, that's another great point. Well, also, real quick, just want to get your thoughts on Russell Westbrook going to play overseas. Obviously, he's getting the bag, but I love to see these guys who have been, they've given so much to the game, so much to the association as well. And I hate that they ring chase, but I always kind of root for them to win the ring, like one of those guys mainly being Chris Paul. I would love to see him win a ring, but what do you think of Russell Westbrook going to play overseas?
Well, he'll have fun with Boogie Cousins.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Cousins is over there.
That was fun.
Getting stuff thrown at him by the fans. And I tell you what, man, playing in Europe is a different deal. I don't know if you've ever seen footage of Luka playing overseas when he was younger. And these crowds, how sometimes at like a Metallica concert, you see this footage of the entire crowd just bouncing up and down together. It's like that in some of these stadiums, and it just gets nuts over there. So, and I think they're really going to like Russell Westbrook because he's hard nosed, he plays hard, and he's fun, and it's probably going to be a pretty cool experience for everybody.
All right, Doc A, one more question for you. Actually, more about you just kind of answer it. What is going to happen in game number 4?
I kind of answered it before. I think Oklahoma City's going to come back and win that game. Will they win it by 5.5 points? I don't know. I think if I'm going to bet on that game, I would probably do Oklahoma City minus the 5.5. But having said that, the Pacers could easily win that game. Like, Tyrese Halliburton had a bad game in game 2. He came back last night. What did he have? He had 22 points, 9 boards, 11 assists.
Almost a triple-double.
He had almost 2 steals, a block, and 4 threes. He hit 9 of 17 shots and played very well. Miles Turner did not play well at all. Pascal Siakam was almost invisible until the final basket of the game, which saved a prop parlay for me. Thank you, Pascal. But he just disappeared at the end of the game. The Pacers, I don't even think they played that well in game 3. So they could easily win game 4. But to beat this Oklahoma City team 2 games in a row, in my opinion, is just so hard. And it's not like Oklahoma City tore it up last night. Like, they were confused at times.
Yeah.
Casey Wallace didn't do a whole lot. The bench, like you said, didn't do a whole lot. Hartstein was invisible. Caruso didn't do a whole lot. So I look for a bounce back from OKC, but I may not do anything with that game. I may just sit back and enjoy it because I want the Pacers to win, and I think they might. But if I'm putting money on it, I'm going OKC.
Yeah, it's so tough, too, with this series because neither one of these teams lose back-to-back games. I think it's been for the Pacers since March. The Thunder haven't done it here in this playoff series, so that's interesting. And then also as Pacers fans, and even more so for you being a Hall of Fame fantasy writer and just an analyst of the game, but I think for Indiana Pacers fans, we understand the reality of how good the Thunder are, and on paper they beat us 9 times out of 10 in a 7-game series. But this team has just got that it factor that everyone always talks about. So we kind of go into each game thinking, well, we could get blown out tonight, but we could win. And I think it's such a fun ride being able to watch basketball games like that.
And I'm telling you, man, it's a team of destiny. And the further this goes, the more it feels like that. And Reggie Miller sitting courtside with Oscar Robertson, and it's just it's wild, and it's cool. And Oklahoma City should be dominating the Pacers, but they're not. And the Pacers are underrated. There's no doubt about it, man. Nobody really respected them during the season. Rick Carlisle, underrated coach. TJ McConnell's play off the bench it's been incredible, and maybe he's the 6th man, and maybe it's not Benny Mathurin, but without Mathurin's scoring explosion last night and McConnell's defense, they don't win that game. But I don't know, man. Seems like a team of destiny to me.
The Pacers might have the most overrated player and the most underrated player on the same roster
at the same time.
Well, and at this point, Halliburton almost seems like he was underrated instead of being overrated, too.
Absolutely.
All right, Doc A., anything else to leave the people with?
No, man. If you find somebody who's dying for a $100 gift card to Golf Plus, have them get in touch with you guys, and you get in touch with me, I'll hook them up.
There we go. You heard Doc A., everybody. Let us know. He is here to help you out. Doc A., thank you very much. Doc A., NBA writer and analysis for 22 years with Roto World and NBC Sports, now with ESPN and RotoWire. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, see you guys later.
See you later. Thank you very much, Doc A. Coming up next, we will discuss the NFL and what has gone on so far in free agency. This is the Inside Drive, sponsored by Golf Plus.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening
Hi, this is Ryan Mulvey, and thank you for nominating the Inside Drive on the 2025 Best of Bay. To vote for the Inside Drive as the best radio show in Bay County, go to ESPNPC.com and click Best of Bay. And remember, for a brighter future, vote the Inside Drive in 2025. This message funded by ESPN Northwest Florida and the Committee to Elect the Inside Drive.
TK Vandy Roofing and General Contracting is a fifth-generation contracting company based right here out of Bay County. TK Vandy's expertise in commercial and residential roofing, as well as a design-build general contractor, set them aside as a versatile and fresh alternative to achieve your construction needs. Contact TK Vandy Roofing, 850-866-9908, or email support@tkvandy.com. They can't wait to help you.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local from the Gulf Plus studios. From the beach to the bay to the backyard, it's the Inside Drive.
I've got sand in my underpants.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Is the Inside Drive on ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 on your radio dial. Show today sponsored by Golf Plus. So for all of your golfing needs, head on over. Visit Alan Watson at Golf Plus. The shop's at Edgewater here in Panama City Beach and up in Dothan, Alabama off of Montgomery Highway. So all of your golfing needs taken care of under one roof. We here at ESPN Northwest Florida are the home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast. No Braves coverage today because the Braves not playing today. Coverage for tomorrow night's game will begin at 6 o'clock for pregame, right after the afternoon underdogs, and 6:15 for the first pitch against the lowly Rockies in Atlanta. So hopefully the Braves can come in and have the weekend sweep. Atlanta Braves baseball on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored locally by Bill Bird Kia, Panama City Beach Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Hewitt Tire and Auto, and Hometown Towing. And be sure to be going out there and voting at the Best of Bay Awards. Head on over to ESPNPC.com. You can vote for Ryan Mulvey, or you can go vote for Coach James Hale for Best Radio Personality in the Best of Bay. And thank you so much for listening to ESPN 104.3. You can call the show. You can text the show. 850-215-6290. We are also on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Like, subscribe, and follow Jack Patterson on our Facebook feed, wishing us a good midday and a good midday to you as well, Mr. Patterson. All right, so we are going to talk a little bit of NFL right now. We're going to discuss NFL free agency. We know that the Packers have cut Jair Alexander, the pretty good cornerback. So Jair still had 2 years left on his contract. He is a 2018 first-round pick, so that means he is still going to be on rookie deal, yeah? No.
Yeah, but all I know is he's only played 7 games in the last 2 years.
Like, not 7 games each season.
Yeah, 7 games each season. So that's, what's the best ability in football across the board? Availability. So It's going to be taking a risk on him. Now, if you can get him on one of those Verdugo, one of those Nick Chubb deals, then I think that's a great play. Otherwise, it's going to be a higher risk for, I think, a lower chance of a reward. But I would love to see. I think Jair Alexander is a great locker room guy. I think Green Bay Packers, always have good locker room guys for the most part. Yeah. So we'll see how it plays out for him. Jalen Ramsey also on the trade market too. So that's the one that I'm most interested in because I think Jalen Ramsey still has plenty in the tank.
Yeah, some of the bigger names that we do have available in free agency currently, and we'll just go through the list based on what they were paid last year for their annual. Jair Alexander was paid $21 million last year, so he is the big fish right now, I think, still out there. Keenan Allen still available, the 12-year vet. Von Miller still available. I'm not quite sure. I think we'll see Von Miller play for somebody because he's not ready to retire, but I don't think he's going to get the asking amount that he is asking for. Last year he was paid $20 million for the season. I think he's got to look maybe at 12 to 15 because he's only going to be there for like a year. He's already 36. He'll be 37, I think, by the season.
Let me throw this. He's 36. He'll be 37. He's actually just turned 36.
Okay.
March 26. So let's just throw this on the table. If the Titans really do believe in Cam Ward, why not go out and get old Von Miller?
I mean, you can. It's not going to help out Cam Ward.
Brian's
the other side of the ball.
I'm fine with that.
But Von it's not going to do much.
The name of a 360-pound left tackle, because that's what we need. But
that's the truth of the matter right there.
Yeah. Another big name, Amari Cooper, still out there and available. 31-year-old veteran. That's one I think that he'll be signed somewhere after the season starts because somebody will go down. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Stay in shape because I don't think he'll be on a roster for the pregame or the preseason, but somewhere in week 4 or 5, somebody's going to go down.
Yep. I'll say this: I think he's about 2 years away from becoming a Raven.
Oh, why 2 years?
Well, Alabama guys go to the Ravens in their 30s.
Old receivers. DeAndre Hopkins, Des Bryant, the list kind of goes on and on.
I mean, if you want an old receiver that's over the hill, they go to the Titans.
They go to the Titans, then they go to the Ravens.
Yeah, and they improve once they get to the Ravens, though.
Because the quarterback is a little bit better at the Ravens.
That's probably a true fact as well. Yeah,
because Derek Mason went from the Titans to the Ravens as well.
And did fairly well once that he got there. Had Steve McNair still throwing him the football, if I do remember rightly. Mm-hmm. All right. Another big name, Brandon Scherff of former Jacksonville fame, the guard. Best, offensive lineman still left on the free agency list, paid $16.5 last year. There's got to be somebody out there that wants to pick up a veteran guard. Now, it hadn't happened yet, but again, one of those stay in shape because somebody will give you a big call to say, hey, we'll give you, like $10 million, $12 million, $15 million to just finish out the season for us because you're the veteran kind of guy that we need to just get the season done with. So hopefully that looks out pretty good for him. Big signings so far this year. Let's just look at the guys that got the bag. Who made the most money this offseason? Well, right now, that title goes to Milton Williams going from the Eagles to the Patriots, a 4-year deal worth $104 million to play defensive tackle. So congratulations, Mr. Williams. You got the bag for the offseason. Sam Darnold also getting paid, going from the Vikings over to the Seattle Seahawks. Signs for 3 years, making $100 million in that 3 years. I mean, that's just what you pay for a quarterback nowadays. That's just the quarterback tax. A little bit high. It's going to be somewhere, around a 33, 34 million. So it's just what you have to pay for a starting quarterback if you're looking at that quarterback having any kind of ability to be a quote-unquote franchise quarterback. You guys agree? They're all nodding heads. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's how we do it on radio.
Affirmative.
We do it quietly.
We nod and look at the Facebook cameras. Yes. Right. Will Fries also got the bag. The guard for now the Minnesota Vikings moves on from the Colts. This is a nice thing for the Titans. They might be able to get a little more pressure to AR or whoever they have in the backfield at the time for the Colts as the quarterback. Will Fries heading on over to Minnesota. $87 million, almost $88 million for the 5 years. And here we go, the Titans. The Titans are actually on this list, spending money on free agency. Shock and awe. Shock and awe. Dan Moore, though, going from the Steelers to the Tennessee Titans. A 4-year deal, $82 million. That's $20.5 a year for those 4 years. So Dan Moore they're going to have him at left or right? I think they're going to have him at left.
I believe he is a guard, though, right?
No, he's tackle.
Okay.
Yeah. He's tackle, and they're going to move Latham, I think, to the right side, which is what he played in college at Alabama, correct?
Yeah.
So it's a move. I don't know if it's like the best move. If you actually look at, Latham and Moore and you put them together, they're the two guys that were most likely to allow a sack to happen from the tackle position. So not only did the Titans have one guy on that list, they said, you know what? We can double down and get 2 of these guys.
We want the entire side to be that. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, so, yep.
Shock and awe for the Titans. I'm shocked and awe they stink.
No, the Titans are just gonna tighten. But we are against that top of the hour clock. So when we get back, we shall have our afternoon delight. This is the Inside Drive. You are tuned into ESPN 104.3 Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Let's check out Greg first up.
So, Paul, as you know, and you've come back to the motherland of Alabama, why not Senator Feinbaum?
It would probably take more than one person to get me elected, though.
I'm sure it would, but...
Can you handle it? Do you have any idea what it pays?
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. Mostly sunny and likely thunderstorms this afternoon and evening with a wind at 10 miles per hour out of the south and the high of 86. Tonight, look for a mixture of mostly clear skies and a chance of thunderstorms with a temperature near 79. Tomorrow, a high around 85 and some sun in the morning, followed by light sprinkles. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for tuning into ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
Broadcasting from the Gulf Plus Studios, it's the Inside Drive. And now, the afternoon delight debrief with the 3 degenerates from the Inside Drive.
Afternoon delight.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Skyrockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
Afternoon delight. This is the Inside Drive. James Fife here, filling in for Ryan Mulvey on this Thursday. With me, Coach Brian Haddad, and the man, myth, and legend, David Hayes, ladies and gentlemen.
What's going on, bro?
And this show is sponsored by Golf Plus. So for all of your golfing needs, head on over to Golf Plus. Shops at Edgewater right here in beautiful Panama City Beach. And you can also find Golf Plus right up there in Dothan, Alabama, right off of Montgomery Highway. Braves coverage tomorrow, 6 o'clock for the pregame festivities, 6:15 first pitch. Taking on the Rockies, Atlanta Braves baseball on ESPN Northwest Florida, sponsored locally by Bill Bird, Kia, PCB Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Hewitt Tire and Auto, and Hometown Towing. Give us a call. Give us a text, 850-215-6290. We also got an app that you can download and take with everywhere you go. As long as you're connected to the internet, you can use the app and you can hear me across the whole world. And head on over to ESPNPC.com and be voting for the Best of Bay. We got Ryan Mulvey and Coach James Hale up for Best Radio Personality in the Best of Bay. So head on over there, and we appreciate all of your votes. Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, the places you can find us on all of those social mediums. Make sure that you like, subscribe, share, and that way you know exactly what's going on here at the studios. It is the afternoon. It is no longer good morning. It is good afternoon, and we have the afternoon delight. And I will get us started with this lovely chicken story. Fried chicken isn't just food anymore. It's also a paste. KFC recently introduced a fried chicken flavored toothpaste.
Oh, come on.
The flavors are inspired by all of KFC's 11 herbs and spices, according to a news release.
Brush my teeth 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Like biting into a hot, juicy piece of KFC original recipe chicken, this toothpaste is irresistible, coating your teeth in flavor before leaving your mouth feeling fresh and clean, the news release said for the Kentucky-based fast food chain's new toothpaste. KFC partnered with toothpaste manufacturer Hismile to unveil the newest dental hygiene product for a limited time. We love pushing boundaries, and what better way to do that than by bringing KFC's legendary flavors into an everyday essential, Hismile marketing manager Coben Jones said. This collab is bold, unexpected, and seriously fun. Apparently, finger-licking good toothpaste appeals to the oral care-minded public.
There you go.
The toothpaste, which is offered exclusively on Hismile's website for $13, sold out on Tuesday morning. This has been one of our most successful limited run collaborations to date, Jones told Fox News Digital. KFC flavored toothpaste is surprising and talkable, with droves of social media conversations and a quick 48-hour sellout. The toothpaste description on the website claims it contains fluoride-free formula and has a long-lasting oral health benefit. While people eager to get their hands on a tube of the toothpaste will have to wait for the next supply, they can always get the new KFC electric toothbrush, which is available for $59 at the Hismile website as well.
Boo.
I just use a chicken leg.
The toothpaste has 3 dynamic cleaning modes, soft, tapered bristles, and a built-in timer, according to the website's description. It's the perfect mix of fun and functions for the ultimate smile.
See, that's like when you pay these people to come up with all these, marketing claims and paragraphs and all. This is the easiest product in the world to market. You just say, dude, KFC toothpaste. That's it. That's the entire marketing campaign. Now, if they come out with KFC gravy toothpaste,
that's a mouthwash.
Yeah, that's got to be the
I
mouthwash.
might pass out. Like, that would be unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree with Dave. That's got to be like the mouthwash. Like, after you get done, you just...
I am so in.
And the chicken is the floss.
Yeah, I would be the only person in history that a dentist would have to call and say, stop brushing your teeth.
Stop right here.
You've got no animal left. Stop it.
Unbelievable.
I got one from Chef Ross. He wanted me to read this for him
All right,
today.
Chef Ross.
This
via
is
David Hayes.
From Paducah. Chaos broke out last night at Bottoms Up Gentlemen's Club when veteran exotic dancer Lexus was arrested after a heated dispute with the club's DJ over his questionable song selections. She specifically asked for Buck Cherry, said one witness, and he played Nickelback instead. Things escalated fast.
Well, yeah, it's on.
Lexus allegedly hurled a stiletto at the DJ booth, flipped over a tip jar, and tried to unplug the sound system mid-routine. You can't expect a professional to work under these conditions, she shouted as police arrived. DJ Ricky Bass Daddy Bradley defended his playlist, claiming he was trying to bring a rustic Kentucky vibe to the stage. Lexus was released on bail early this morning and says she'll return to dancing once the DJ learns the difference between bad music and worse music. This is a developing story.
I will say this. If the DJ had played Creed, there's not a jury in the world that would have convicted her. Because Creed is awful.
But, I mean, the thing, we're trying to bring a Kentucky vibe to it in Nickelback.
Yeah.
I mean, Nickelback is about as Canadian as Canada.
Yes.
The Paducah Insider is a news satire and parody publication. All content contained within this page, however, it's fictitious. Any real, semi-real, or similar dates, places, people, products, services, and locales are used purely for satirical purposes.
Well, I mean, at least it wasn't like, she asked for a song to play and maybe she had, seen her better days and had played Fat Bottom Girls.
No, that would have been great.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
That would have been a wonderful flip out right there.
Well, I also have a question for you sent in from a listener. It is Right State Chris. He says, I learned this today. Benedict Mathurin played hockey and football in high school. He's from Quebec. James, what's the tallest hockey player you ever played against?
Tallest guy I ever played against, I had a kid on my high school team that was 6'6". So that is probably the largest kid that I played hockey with. I saw some guys that were, 6'5"-ish, when I was playing juniors. I don't know if I ever got to see anybody like incredibly tall like Zed Nochar out there at like 6'10", But I mean, even when you take these guys that are like 6'6" and you put them in skates, you're giving them another 2.5 inches, so you got somebody there that's like basically 6'9".
Can you imagine seeing like a Randy Johnson on the hockey rink?
Oh, God, that would be
terrifying.
Great. That would be great. Actually, what would be really fun is like watching Andre the Giant try to skate out there. That would be the entertainment value of the night. But, yeah, it's, got to say, about 6'6", probably the largest guy I ever got to play with or against. Most of the guys I was playing with at the time were, like most hockey players, average height kind of guys. So every once in a while, you'll see one of those huge dudes, and you just look at it and go, man, that's a big old guy. And they do have special rules in the NHL and hockey leagues to allow those guys to have longer sticks, because there is a rule that you can't have a stick over 72 inches unless you are above 6'4" or something like that.
I always thought, not going vertical, going wide, I always thought the thing that you should do as a general manager, like if you're the Bill Veeck of hockey, is go get sumo guys to be your goalkeepers.
Oh, I love that idea.
Yeah, just have them just sit down and park in front of the net.
Just get right there. Just don't let anything by. Move a little left. Move a little right.
That's what I would do.
You don't got to stand. Don't stand up. We don't need you to stand up. Just sit there and fill up the net.
For old-style wrestling fans like a Happy Humphrey or a Haystacks Calhoun, you just park them right in front of the net and there you go.
Just let the shots come at you, bro. Don't worry. It won't hurt that bad. We'll get you some padding. Salt Lake City. We'll move on into this one. A woman was arrested Wednesday after police said she was accused of assaulting her roommate over dirty dishes. Scarlett Lisette Vega Garasha, 23, was arrested for the offense of aggravated assault and aggravated burglary, according to the Provo Police Department. The Provo Police Department said in an affidavit of the probable cause that the police were notified of an alleged assault and interviewed 2 roommates involved at the time. Police said that during the interviews they learned an argument ensued due to dirty plates not being washed. Documents allege Garacho, that is a hard one for me, followed the victim to her room during the argument, pushing through the closed door without permission despite being told to leave. Police said Garacho stayed in the room. Then police said Garacho pushed the victim, making her fall to the ground, and then grabbed her by the hair and neck. The victim stated that she could not breathe for approximately 5 seconds and had hit Scarlett's hand to make herself breathe, the documents said. Police say Garacho then attempted to kick the victim, who was able to defend herself. Documents noted that the police noticed injuries to the victim while conducting the interviews.
You have 4 names, you're guilty.
Yeah, especially if you're just going to start beating people.
Yeah, you're guilty.
Do your laundry.
I'm a terrible person, but if you have 4 names, you're guilty.
Let's see. What's another?
I don't like that because my baby niece has got 4 names.
There's one hyphenated? Because that doesn't count.
I don't know exactly how they're doing it.
That's a get out of jail free card.
Ruth, Rachel, Justice. 2 of them are last names.
All right, tell them to add a hyphen, and I'll amend
it. All right, I'll get on that.
All right, we'll start working on that. A Vermont dad took the Burlington Free Press to court for not covering his son's basketball games, but a judge recently tossed out the lawsuit citing the state constitution protection for the freedom of press. On May 20th, Vermont Superior Court Judge, they had to take this all the way to the Supreme Court of the state. That's great. On May 20th, Vermont Superior Court Judge Benjamin Battle dismissed Robert Lafayette's suit against the newspaper and its subsidiary, Vermont Varsity Insider, a platform created in 2018 to provide coverage of high school sports. Lafayette sued the paper and two of its employees, Alex Abram and Judith Altnum, accusing them of failing to cover high school sports outside of Chittenden County, particularly his son's basketball games. Lafayette alleged the Vermont Varsity Insider has focused predominantly on Chittenden County schools, some of which have advertising and commercial interest with the news organization. Despite claiming to provide statewide coverage, he claimed his son's performances were not featured during the 2024-2025 season. According to Lafayette, this hurt his son's college prospects and caused him stress and anxiety, gastrointestinal distress, and panic attacks that he had to treat with medication.
You know what else will cause you stress and anxiety? When your father sues a newspaper.
Lafayette sued for compensation and punitive damages for violation of the Consumer Protections Act, breach of contract, negligent infliction of emotional distress, and unjust enrichment. Battles dismissed Lafayette's complaint, upholding Article 13 of the Vermont Constitution, which protects freedom of speech and freedom of press, including editorial decisions on materials to include in a newspaper. Given that Vermont Varsity Insider reported on games throughout Vermont, the judge did not find validity in Lafayette's allegations that it only covered in the Kent County. A future hearing will determine whether Lafayette will face sanctions for using a fake case citations and quotes in his filings.
Here we go.
The newspaper entitled the attorney to fees under the Vermont law known as anti-SLAPP statute for strategic lawsuits against public participation, which allows defendants to file a motion to strike a complaint if the lawsuit arises from the exercise of the right of free speech. The attorney for the Burlington Free Press declined to comment Wednesday, citing pending litigations.
That's cool.
I love the fact, and where was it I saw it?
Fake case?
Fake
now I'm interested.
That's, so you think the lawyer for this guy just went over to the Chat GPT and said, hey, I need a case built. And then the Chat GTP just started making up some fake cases that it could cite.
I mean, that's the thing. You come up with stuff like that, and then when you get caught, my bad.
My bad.
But if the paper had done something fake, come on. Ridiculous.
But the computer did it. I didn't do it, Judge. The computer did it. I just handed it to you, Judge.
I got one for you here.
Hit me with it.
The Lego Discovery Center in Washington, D.C. unveiled the winner of its 2025 Mini Master Model Builder. That's alliteration. Qualifying competition. A 12-year-old's creation showing the nation's capital being taken over by pandas. See, China's coming. Telling you.
Pandas.
The Lego Discovery Center, located in the district's Springfield Town Center, said it will display the build titled Pandemonium. Clever. In D.C. through June 30th, and then it will be sent to the Lego House in Denmark to be judged alongside creations from 27 other Lego Discovery Centers from across the globe. The scene's creator, 12-year-old Ricky, then has a chance to be named LEGO's first ever global mini master model builder. Build features pandas taking over famous Washington locations and artifacts, including the Washington Monument, the National History Museum, the Hope Diamond, the Declaration of Independence, a metro station, and the stovepipe hat from the Lincoln Monument. No truth to the rumor that there was a panda with Viking helmet, and now Ricky has been arrested for inciting a coup against the government. That part I had.
Good luck, Ricky.
But anyway, that was pretty cool, though, actually. It took him well over 100 hours to complete, and it is very intricate. So
some of those things that people build with Legos is crazy. My cousin went to Denmark, which is where Legos are from, and he stayed at a hotel like that. All the art pieces were Lego. Mm-hmm. Every statue, every art piece, it was all Lego. Like some of the pictures he sent me of some of those things in were just crazy. Like they had, instead of a wax museum type thing, they had a Lego museum, and they had built Legos of famous people, and you could look at it and go, yeah, that's whoever that is. Yeah. Certainly looks like him. It was pretty cool on the pictures that I got to see of that kind of stuff.
On this day where we have the opening round of the U.S. Open Golf going on in Pennsylvania, a New York man may have earned himself a Guinness World Record by playing golf for 36 consecutive hours. Kelechi Ezehi, that's what I'm going with, is a Long Island man originally from Nigeria, hit the links at Huntington Crescent Club at 6 p.m. Sunday with the intention of playing the game for 24 hours, the minimum goal set by Guinness to originate the title for longest marathon golf. However, his plans abruptly changed halfway through his attempt when he was told a Norwegian man had just completed that attempt and went for 32 hours. So he extended his own attempt and ended up finishing after 36 hours of golf on Tuesday. Evidence from his attempt must now be reviewed by the Guinness World Records. But the crazy thing about that is that's 2 nights.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there were lights out there. I mean, look, he probably enjoyed his golf game more if he couldn't see where the ball went.
Oh, absolutely. At that point, you're just so tired.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, you know. The guy's a big golf enthusiast, and one of his big things was he wants people to understand that golf isn't just for the wealthy, that it's for everybody, and you know, because he came from a rough economic background and all that. So it was a neat thing, but, I mean, 36 hours of golf. I think the most I ever played was we played 45 holes one day, and it took me a few days before I wanted to play again.
Oh, I can imagine.
And I love golf. So, and it's 36 hours of golf? Oh, my God.
And it's warm up there still, man.
Oh, yeah.
Even up there, it's warm. So, I mean, I'm sure it was nice and hot for some of those.
Oh, yeah. And 45, I want to say we did that in just a touch over 8.5 hours, something like that. And that was all I needed.
That's nuts. I couldn't imagine. I mean, you're talking to a guy, though, that's played 18 holes maybe like 4 times in his life. So I couldn't imagine going that long with golf.
We went around twice and got an extra 9 in, and that was it.
I mean, I've, you know, me to do 9 holes is probably like 3 hours already. So, I mean, it's not the prettiest picture you will ever see of a golf shot either. So maybe get some lessons from Jay Henley at some point if I ever decide to pick up the links again, although I don't know if I ever decided to really pick them up in the first place. All right. A deputy at the Fond du Lac County Sheriff's Office resigned from his supervisory position as a correctional sergeant at the Vilas County Jail after admitting in 2020 to taking 5 rolls of toilet paper from the jail.
Sometimes you got to go.
That deputy, Cody Haslett, was later rehired by the Vilas County Sheriff's Office in 2022 at the lower position of correctional officer. Chief Deputy Patrick Schmidt said. He continued to work in good standing with Vilas County until November of 2023 when he transferred here. Fond du Lac County Sheriff's Ryan Waldschmidt wrote in an email to the Badger Project. The Vilas County Sheriff's Office flagged Haslett's first resignation as a negative separation in the statewide database with the Wisconsin Department of Justice, but his second resignation with that office was logged as resigned in good standing, Waldschmidt noted. Hazlitt declined to comment on the story, Waldschmidt said. In his apology letter to the Velosa County, which the Badger Project obtained in a records request, Hazlitt said he returned 4 of the 5 roles and offered to reimburse the county for the 5th. As a supervisor, I should have known better than to do this and should be making the example to my shift, and that is not acceptable, he wrote. This is the first time I have intentionally taken property from the jail, and it will not happen again. County sheriffs say hiring jail officers as entry-level positions into law enforcement, and generally it's low paid, has become more difficult over recent years as people have become less interested in the profession, and the total number of law enforcement officers in Wisconsin sits near record lows. The Fond du Lac County Jail is budgeted for 65 jail officer positions this year. They currently have 63 filled. So, taking the toilet paper from the jail, apparently looked down upon.
You gotta go.
5 rolls, man. I mean, come on. I can't imagine like a jail is like buying the good Charmin stuff either.
Well, you gotta figure that. I mean, that's big time currency for the inmates.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
You got some trading going on.
There you go.
Barter with the boss man, maybe. Hey, boss
Smokes
man.
and TP. It's like bars of gold in jail. So I've heard.
Hey, Gold Teeth.
So I've heard.
Hey, Gold Teeth. Hey, Gold Teeth. I trade you. Yeah, I can. Weird, man. Weird. But hey, at least he admitted to it. Admitting is the first step to recovery, right? So
I don't care. The theme of today is KFC toothpaste.
Oh God, I can't wait for my KFC toothpaste.
I have not been this excited in years.
It's sold out. We're waiting for another run to happen. You got to go to the Hismile website if you would like to find it.
If they don't make a second run, we riot. Just saying.
We can riot now. Make them make the run faster, maybe.
I was thinking about getting that for Coach Brian for Christmas, but why wait till then when I can do it for Thanksgiving? That'll be perfect.
I got teeth now. Let's go.
I got teeth now.
I got teeth. I gotta use them.
They may not make it if I don't get that.
Come on, Amazon. Where is this?
All right, KFC toothpaste, everybody.
Australia. What?
You got to get all the way in Australia?
What?
Do they even have KFCs in Australia? I mean, I'm assuming they do. They got them
everywhere.
I am assuming they do. All right, coming up next.
American Fried Chicken is Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Hey, and it's $13, and I don't care.
I'll pay $13 for that.
I can deal with it.
Definitely. All right, coming up next, more NFL talk here on the Inside Drive, sponsored by Golf Plus, ESPN 104.3 Northwest Florida.
Home just got more dangerous. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida is your spot for the afternoon underdogs.
One of the more underrated. Fast as lightning. You know that he's got perseverance.
Weekdays 4 to 6 live from the CBC Construction Studio. Reactions, rants, and your calls at 850-215-6290. The afternoon underdogs are live and local. Weekdays on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Thursday afternoon. The rest of the day, possible thunderstorms and mostly sunshine, and 86 with a gentle breeze out of the south at 10 miles per hour. For tonight, possible thunderstorms and mostly clear skies and a low near 79. Tomorrow, partly sunny in the morning and then light showers and a high around 85. For Saturday, moderate rain and a high of 84. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
PCB Hobby, the beach's premier hobby store for sports cards, comics, coins, and trading card games. PCB Hobby carries the largest selection of boxes and packs from the latest releases of brands like Topps, Panini, Leaf, and more. Looking for a specific player or team? PCB Hobby has a wide assortment of raw and graded cards. They carry parallel rookie, game used, and autographed cards in both modern and vintage. Have a collection you want to sell? We buy, sell, and trade. PCB Hobby on Back Beach Road, just east of Florida Linen. Call 850-320-8388.
Mid-South Lumber, where they treat you like family. Locally owned and serving the residents of Bay County for over 45 years. See Mid-South Lumber for all of your DIY projects, including windows, doors, siding, lumber, and millwork. Are you building a new home? Bring your contractor in to Mid-South Lumber and meet with a member of their sales team to discuss your framing, siding, windows, and doors. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City. 717 West 11th Street.
Now back to the Inside Inside Drive, live and local from the Gulf Plus studios. Now back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
It's alive! Look alive! We're alive!
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Inside Drive here on ESPN Northwest Florida, 104.3 on the radio dial. Show sponsored today by Golf Plus. So for all of your golfing needs, visit Alan Watson at Golf Plus. Be sure to be voting for Ryan Mulvey and Coach Hale for the Best of Bay. You can head on over to ESPNPC.com. You can vote for Ryan Mulvey, or you can go vote for Coach James Hale for the Best of Bay. We won that award last year with Ryan Mulvey, so let's just not return the award. Keep it right here in-house. Home of the Braves is ESPN Northwest Florida on the Gulf Coast. Game tomorrow night, 6 o'clock pregame, 6:15 first pitch, taking on the Rockies. Braves coverage brought to you by ESPN Northwest Florida, by Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Hewitt Tire and Auto, and Hometown Towing. Call the show, text the show, 850-215-6290. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you can keep up with all of the news coming out here at ESPN Northwest Florida. James Fife filling in for Ryan Mulvey today. Got Coach Brian Haddad with us and David Hayes. So we're going to talk a little bit more NFL news. So last night, Texan safety Jimmy Ward was arrested at 5:38 a.m. in Montgomery County, Texas, and is facing a felony assault charge, according to the Montgomery County Jail website, allegedly for family violence following an incident in Magnolia. Ward is currently still in custody. We are aware of the report involving Jimmy Ward. Omar Majub, the senior director of communications for the Texans, said in a statement, "We are gathering more information and have no further comment at this time." Ward, 33, signed a 2-year, $13 million contract with the Texans as a free agent after spending his first 9 seasons with the San Francisco 49ers. He came over to join They misspelled DeMarco Murray's name, or DeMarco Ryan's name pretty badly there, so that was throwing me off. DeMeco Ryans. Somebody needs to spell check before they send things out on ESPN. And the first season coaching in Houston, as they had a history working together in San Francisco. In 2023, Ward played 10 games and had an interception. The Texans then gave him a 1-year extension in August of 2024. He has a current cap hit of $5.6 million. So that arrest brings me to the subject that we will discuss. So since the year 2000, what team in the NFL is leading in arrests?
University of Georgia.
Close.
No, sorry.
But in the NFL.
No.
All right. I'm going to go with, so how long are we talking?
Since the year 2000.
Year 2000. Let's go Raiders.
Ooh, I like that, but it is not the Raiders. Coach Haddad, your guess.
It's definitely going to be in the AFC North. I'm going to say it's either the Bengals.
He got that right. It is in the AFC North, isn't it? No, it's not.
I was going to say either the Bengals just because of Burfict or the Ravens because of everybody.
Well, it actually happens to be the Minnesota Vikings.
Come on, man. When we play these good guessing games and you get us intrigued, you got to give us hints and stuff, bro.
I mean, you gotta realize, well, I gave you the year 2000 as a hint. If that's not a big old hint that it's the Vikings and you don't remember the Love Boat incident.
No.
Oh, come on. I mean, they had like 15 guys arrested at once there. That really cranks up your numbers right there. So, yeah, according to the study, it is the Minnesota Vikings at 60. Now, I didn't hear the name for the second place team, and it is a team out kind of in the West.
Denver?
It is Denver. 54 arrests since the year 2000.
I thought weed was supposed to mellow you.
Apparently, no. Well, you got to remember, the NFL is the no-fun league.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the only league still left that actually test for marijuana, because the NHL tests for marijuana. They just don't care if that's in your system.
It should be the Titans, because it's criminal how bad they are.
I mean, I don't know, the Browns and some of the moves that they, like, you know, for the Titans, at least we don't have to get infuriated during the offseason.
I mean, seriously.
Our expectations are, what are we really going to do? The Browns are like, you know what? Not only are we going to be bad, but we're going to spend a lot of money on this roster and still be bad.
Right. The Browns and the Titans should have 53 arrests every year for theft of money.
We should do class action lawsuits, like, you know, where everyone, hey, you know, it's $1 billion lawsuit. We all got a penny out of it. Woohoo!
Well, and while we're at it, the Jets, too.
Yeah, the Jets, yeah.
Well, I mean, we could be like the Rockies fans, and we could, you know, get a class action, and we could sue the Titans for being bad for emotional distress.
Well, at least with the Rockies, no one's ever gone to their games anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
All right, coming in at third, it is the Cincinnati Bengals.
There we go.
There we go. 44 arrests in that time period.
Perfect. So, probably 20 of them.
Yeah, you got perfect, but you also got to remember back in the late 2000s, Adam Pac-Man.
Oh, Pac-Man, baby. He contributed a few to Tennessee, too.
He got a couple of them to kind of everybody.
In fact, he just got arrested again, I read.
Congratulations, Pac-Man. He's still staying in the news.
Yeah. Hey, you got to stay relevant one way or the other.
That's 3 straight decades, I think. Good for him.
Oh, God.
Maybe 4.
He's all decade.
3 strikes and you're just out on the streets anyway. Congratulations, Adam Pac-Man Jones. Coming in at fourth, Florida team, Jacksonville.
Ain't nothing else
Jaguars.
to do in Jacksonville.
43 arrests. That's a pretty good one. You know, guys I can remember. Duval. Justin Blackman, Dante Fowler, I know got into some legal troubles a couple years ago. Let's stay in Florida for team number 5. Head on down south a little bit. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 42 arrests since the year 2000. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Antonio Brown got a few of those while he was there. So
fair enough.
That's where we can place at least some of those. Here's one that surprised me. Number 6, the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that one.
I wouldn't have thought of that one because usually you don't really hear them and, you know, arrest going hand in hand. I don't know. Did Marshawn or Richard Sherman or any of those guys ever get arrested?
They seem awful nice. Yeah, like Sean Alexander's nicest guy ever.
Yeah, that's just one of those.
I doubt Hasselbeck was knocking over banks. Yeah, I don't know. I can't really think of who it'd be. I mean, Sherman, I wouldn't see as that. I could see Lynch. Who was the big defensive lineman they had? Oh, God. Yeah, he got in trouble with the law a couple times. I can't think of his name right now.
I'm not coming up with it right now. Sorry, guys.
I think he played some with New England as well, and I can't think of his name.
Who are we talking about?
Seattle
you don't know his name.
at 6.
Seattle at 6. Are you talking about Richard Sherman?
No, it was a D lineman is who I think he spent some of his career with the Patriots too, and he'd had some trouble with the law. I can't think of his name.
I mean, Albert Hainsworth, but I don't know if he ever...
it wasn't Fat Albert.
Yeah.
No.
I remember him with the Seahawks.
Number 7. We've already said it a few times, but it's the Cleveland Browns at 39 arrests over that time period of 25 years.
Theft of salary.
Yep.
What if they were talking lawsuits? If they were talking lawsuits,
Sean would win that one by himself.
AFC North combined? Oh, my goodness.
Justin Tucker, come on down.
Malik McDowell, is that who
I'm actually very surprised. No, I maybe I'm confusing him with someone else, but it might be someone who's gotten arrested a lot since. I'm surprised we haven't heard the Ravens yet because they were one that instantly jumped to mind.
Yeah.
Here's a team I thought would be higher on the list, coming in at 8th, 38 arrests, Kansas City Chiefs. Because I remember them coming through a while of like having arrests.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, like last offseason or the offseason before, but most of them were just really notable because of the players that were getting arrested.
Yeah. Yeah, and we can also look at Andy Reid's kids also getting arrested, too, but I'm sure they're not counting that on the player list as well.
He ain't on a roster.
Travis Kelce beating up Taylor Swift stalkers.
Taylor's got enough money that doesn't become an arrest. That just becomes a swept-under-the-rug type thing.
That's vigilantism or whatever.
Miami Dolphins coming in at 9th with 37 arrests in the last 25
that Florida triple,
years.
Baby. Top 10, all three Florida.
Hey. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Tyreek Hill, everybody. All right, number 10, the Chicago Bears with 37. A team that you don't really hear a lot of anything really coming out of Bears land. So that one, a little bit of a shock to me. Number 11.
They've got the best likely to bust quarterback.
If this was all time, it has to be the Raiders.
Oh, if
just
it's all
just
time,
from the decade of the 70s.
Yeah. Got to be close. Number 11, the Indianapolis Colts, 36 arrests. I don't know if they're counting Irsay's arrest in there or not.
Yeah.
Because he is a part of the team. I don't know if they're counting the owner or not. If we all remember, Irsay got arrested at least twice for DUIs, I want to say. I remember at least one of them, but I'm pretty sure he had a second one added on top of that. Number 12, the New Orleans Saints with 35 arrests. I can see that one. You know, anybody being in New Orleans in that party town, if you're a party kind of person, I can see that leading to negative outcomes. 13th team is the Arizona Cardinals with 34 arrests in that time period. 14th, we got the San Francisco 49ers with 34 as well. Number 15, here we go. The Baltimore Ravens, 33
right
arrests
in the middle, though.
that time
I would have
period.
thought they'd have been top 10.
Well, I mean, you got a couple of big ones in there.
And that may be it.
Because
Ray
2000
Rice.
is the Ray Lewis year. That's the year Ray Lewis got
You had the
stuck
Ray
with all
Rice
that.
issue.
You got Ray Rice, you had Ray Lewis, you had Jamal Lewis selling crack cocaine while being one of the best running backs in the NFL.
Speaking of selling drugs, how are the Cowboys not already on this list? They seem to have one every year go down for that. Maybe it was after their careers.
I guess Jerry's paying off enough to just sweep it all under the rug. Green Bay Packers with 33. That's one
I'm surprised
really
They seem to be pretty buttoned up. Yeah.
Number 17, the Pittsburgh Steelers at 32. Again, another organization I wouldn't have expected because usually they keep things pretty tight, but Roethlisberger got in trouble a couple of times.
Yeah, and who was their linebacker? Harrison?
Yeah, Martin.
Didn't he get in trouble? James Harrison?
James Harrison got in trouble once or twice, yeah. Chargers at 18 with 31 arrests in that time period. The Las Vegas Raiders, 19th, 31 arrests in the 2020, the year 2000 to the year 2025.
Really fallen off since the Stabler days.
Well, I mean, you keep on moving around. I guess you're in Las Vegas, so the cops are busier doing other things.
Can you imagine the 70s Raiders in Vegas?
Oh, could you imagine any professional sports team from the 70s in Vegas? Just any of them. That would be nuts. That would be a cocaine-fueled weekend every day. Number 20, New York Jets with 30 arrests. Can't think of any big names on that one, but I'm sure there has been. Number 21, we finally get to the beautiful Tennessee Titans, 30 arrests. You know, we had Pac-Man Jones, Albert Haynesworth. Didn't Steve, McNair never got, McNair did get an arrest for a DUI.
That's right, he did.
He did. Did Vince ever get arrested?
I don't know that Vince.
I don't remember. I remember he had the cops come looking for him for a safety check, but I don't think he was ever quote arrested.
The lineman, the lineman from Georgia who they arrested after he ran and jumped off the balcony at the party, and then he never played for him again.
Isaiah Wilson.
Yeah.
He got a DWI in 2019.
Yeah. Okay, so he wasn't a part of the team then, though. So Vince not a part of the 30 number. Dallas Cowboys coming in at 22nd.
I'm amazed they're not higher.
28 arrests. So that's
like you said, Jerry's paying that.
Yeah, Jerry's getting those hush-hush monies going out there. 23rd, the Carolina Panthers with 28 arrests.
Well, they had a guy killed someone. But that may have been before 2000.
24, the Buffalo Bills, 27 arrests.
Yeah, pretty calm.
That's pretty good. Atlanta Falcons, 25.
That's pretty good. Really, in Atlanta? That's surprising.
Yeah, that's surprising. I mean, you also got, I guess, the big one on that is Michael Vick.
Yeah.
That's going to be the big arrest for the Falcons in that time period. The New England Patriots with 25. Kind of surprised by that. But, I mean, you got Aaron Hernandez there, so that took up 2 or 3 of them.
Well, they didn't know everything he had done by then.
They knew after. The Washington Commanders Redskins football team, 25 arrests.
Yeah.
New York Giants, 24 arrests.
Yeah. NFC East, pretty good. Pretty well behaved.
Angeles Rams at 29th with 23 arrests. The Eagles of Philadelphia, 21 arrests, coming in at 30th.
NFC East, very well behaved.
Yeah, you got to realize Andy Reid left the Eagles before 2000, so I think that helps a lot. Yeah, well, good point.
I don't think T.O. got arrested a lot. He was just an idiot.
He just loved running his mouth and just doing dumb stuff. I don't think he ever did anything super illegal, but he did love having his name and attention all over him. Detroit Lions at 19 arrests, so that makes them 31st. And the Houston Texans, 32nd in the league. It says 17 in this article, but we know that is 18 now. So congratulations to the Texans. You're catching up to the Detroit Lions. And that concludes NFL arrests since the year 2000.
I just want to blanket apologize for anyone who I besmirched who has not been arrested, who I thought had.
We're very, very sorry. All right, guys, coming up next are $2 bets, and we will go over this day in sports history. You are tuned into ESPN Northwest Florida 104.3 on the radio dial.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey, Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tired of boring merch and want your brand to stand out like the big names? Elevate your look with Red 7 Tees. They don't just print shirts, they create bold identities. They are a veteran-owned custom apparel shop providing the kind of detail that turns heads, using high-quality digital printing and embroidery to give you that unique style you love with no minimums or cookie-cutter designs. From small business to sports teams, if you've got a vision, they'll help you wear it proudly. Visit red7tees.com.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
TK Vandy Roofing and General Contracting is a fifth-generation contracting company based right here out of Bay County. TK Vandy's expertise in commercial and residential roofing, as well as a design-build general contractor, set them aside as a versatile and fresh alternative to achieve your construction needs. Contact TK Vandy Roofing, 850-866-9908, or email support@tkvandy.com. They can't wait to help you.
Broadcasting from the Golf Plus studios, it's the Inside Drive. We're betting the limit and covering the spread. The Inside Drive with Ryan and Jay.
Thank you. Nice to be in Vegas.
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Inside Drive, sponsored by Golf Plus here on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. And make sure to visit Golf Plus for all of your golfing needs. They are located at the Shops at Edgewater right here in beautiful Panama City Beach. And if you live a little bit to the north of here in Dothan, Alabama, off of Montgomery Highway, can take care of all of your golfing needs. If you need new clubs, if you need to get refitted, if you got to get them taped back up, head on over to Golf Plus. Flags are yellow out there on the beaches, so enjoy the beaches out there, everyone. No Braves today. Braves will return to our radio waves again tomorrow. 6 o'clock for the pregame after the afternoon underdogs. 6:15 for the first pitch. Braves taking on the Rockies at Truist Park. Atlanta Braves baseball on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored locally by Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Hewitt Tire and Auto, and Hometown Towing. And be sure to be out there voting at the Best of Bay. You can get a link to it at ESPNPC.com. Head on out and vote for Ryan Mulvey or Coach James Hale for Best Radio Personality in the Best of Bay. You can call the show. You can text the show, 850-215-6290. And we are on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe on all of our social media platforms. Time for our $2 bets. Last night, only one of my bets hit, and I did get the Giants to win over the Rockies last night. None of my parlays hit, so, hey, got 1 out of 3. I'll take it. You don't win every single day. You got to remember that, folks. So my $2 bets for today, well, we're going to repeat one of our yesterday bets. We'll go with the Giants to win over the Rockies. My $2 bet there, if it hits, will pay me back $2.91, so I can win a whole 91 cents on this bet. David Hayes, got anything for us?
I got 2 for you, but I'll do one at a time with you for now. We'll go to the NHL game tonight at 7 p.m. Let me get the Oilers to win, and what's been hitting every single game? The over.
The over has been hitting.
That'll be $2 to win $9.50.
All right. I will stick with the NHL for mine. I got the Panthers for the win. I'll take the over at 6.5. I got Sam Reinhart with over half a point, and I got Sergei Bobrovsky with over 26.5 saves. My $2 bet, if it hits, will be $11.50 coming back to me.
All right. My next one is going to be just a 3-leg money line bet in Major League Baseball. That's going to be the Giants to beat the Rockies, the Yankees to beat the Royals, and the Cubs to beat the Pirates.
Ooh, I like it. My last one of the day, and the first time I have ever put a wager down on golf. I got Scotty Scheffler to win the U.S. Open. My $2 bet, if it hits, $7.20 American.
Ooh, that's not too bad of a bet. You got me over here now looking at the U.S. Open. I'm going to put $1 on Bryson DeChambeau.
There we go.
I will tell you good news on Scotty Scheffler. He has 0 bogeys, double bogeys, or triple bogeys to this point.
That's good news.
How many pars?
Because he hasn't teed off
I was
yet.
about to say, how many pars, birdies, and eagles does he have?
Your Bryson DeChambeau bet, not looking as good. Bryson in the clubhouse, 73, 3 over par.
Hey, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
There we go. There we go. I mean, but big course.
I like
though,
long shots.
Well, this is one of those big courses, isn't it? Aren't we expecting a lot of
Oakmont
overs?
is the U.S. Open course. They've played more U.S. Opens at Oakmont than anywhere else. I think this is the 10th, and it is, there's going to be some high scores. Currently, leader in the clubhouse, J.J. Spawn, finished with a 4 under 66. 2 shots clear of Siwoo Kim, Thomas Dietrich, and Tristan Lawrence.
Who?
Exactly.
Did you recognize any name that you read?
T-H-R-I-S-T-O. Yeah, Siwoo Kim won the player.
Yeah, I know Kim.
SW Kim.
Yeah, but
Right.
no, I mean, probably the first name anyone's real familiar with. Adam Scott finished with an even par 70. He's tied for 11th currently. A lot of guys just getting their round started are at even par. Other big names, Rory McIlroy kind of blew up. He birdied 2 of his first 3 holes and then finished at 4 over 74. Former U.S. Open champ Gary Woodland at 3 over par finished in the clubhouse. And Phil Mickelson finished with a 4 over 74 as well. Worst score so far, 14 over 84 by Justin Hicks.
All right.
But a lot of guys left to play.
Oh, yeah. Lots of guys left to play. That's one of the things about golf is When you look in the morning, it's always going to be a different score than what you see in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm. It's just day one, baby. Plenty of time for DeChambeau.
Plenty of time to get back on track. All right, we will turn our attention.
Wait, real quick. I'm sorry, I'm looking for his name here, but the one guy who had the greatest run of any, Maxwell Moldovan. He finished his round 6 over 76. He's an American from Uniontown, Ohio. First hole of the day, holes out for eagle. And then proceeds to bogey, 2 and 3. He goes right back to even, ends up shooting 6 over 76. But
come out of the gate hot.
How good do you got to feel?
2 under through 1 at the U.S. Open, you are riding high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you didn't say hole in one, right?
No, he just hold out for eagle. Hold out from the fairway on the first hole.
But still, you got to be feeling great about your. That's how golf gets you every time. It hasn't happened very many times, but there's been a few times, maybe a couple, maybe just singular. No, but I'll start off with a birdie, and you're like, oh my goodness, maybe I might par today, you know?
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, just like
back to reality.
Yes, sir. Back to
reality land. Oh, man.
Where bogeys feel like birdies.
Hey, when I get the ball in the hole, I think it's just great. I don't even care how many shots it takes.
My rule, just try not to have any snowmen.
There you go.
There you go. No eights. No eights. All right. This day in sports history, it is Thursday, June 12th. This day, 1920, Man O' War wins the Belmont Stakes, which was run at 1 3/8 miles in a 2 4/15. He shatters the record by 3 1/5 second and sets the American dirt course record for that distance. It has been broken since, but that was a pretty big news at that time.
One of the 3 or 4 best horses of all time.
1954, Milwaukee Braves spot starting pitcher Jim Wilson throws the first no-hitter in history of County Stadium when he blanks the Philadelphia Phillies 2-0.
The good old days when the Braves would no-hit the Phillies.
Here's one I love. I bet you guys can fill out what happens on the rest of this day. 1970, and I'll give you the name of the player. You can tell me what happened. 1970, Doc Ellis.
LSD, no-hitter.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
I was thinking of J.R. Doc Richard, but
yeah, he just got that palm ball just going and was striking folks out left and right. Perfect game, or a no-hitter.
Yeah,
doesn't remember.
I mean, he was just aiming at the dragon he saw.
Doesn't remember a bit of it. He said, that's the only thing I really regret is I don't remember probably my biggest sports accomplishment because I was so high. So, but congratulations, Doc Ellis. You caught the proverbial no-hitter dragon. This day, 1979, Bobby Orr becomes the youngest player in NHL history to be selected to the Hall of Fame. The 31-year-old is inducted just months after officially retiring from the NHL, which waived the 3-year waiting period.
Why would they waive the 3-year waiting period there? I mean, I understand it for like Clemente, who died in the plane crash and things like that, but why would you I'm curious.
The NHL does that for great names. They did it for Mario Lemieux. They did it for Wayne Gretzky. And the thing with Lemieux is it kind of
had the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that, but I don't know. I don't like all these exceptions.
But he still came back and played for the team as a Hall of Famer and an owner.
Yeah.
You know, so we got to remember that.
True.
And now the NHL has come out with rules, owners can't play. I'm like, why? Why can't the owners play? Let them play if they want to.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a conflict of interest. Seems like the best interest.
Yeah, I want to win. I'm the best player.
That's better than
Let's
Jaromir Jagr playing at 73 or whatever he is now.
Yeah, still playing in Europe. In some legal trouble right now with his team. Something to do with not paying taxes. So remember, folks, pay your taxes. This day, 1984, the 38th NBA championship, Boston Celtics beat the LA Lakers games 4-3
that was a great series.
Great series on that one. And they win that championship title. 1991, the Chicago Bulls win their very first NBA championship in the 25-year team history. They win 108-101, Game 5 over the Los Angeles Lakers. The MVP, Michael Jordan with 30 points. Scottie Pippen had 32 points. And John Paxson with 20 points for the game. This day, 2002, NBA Finals, Los Angeles Lakers beat the New Jersey Nets 113-107 for a 4-0 sweep and the third straight title for the Lakers. MVP Shaquille O'Neal for the third consecutive finals. 2008, the Boston Celtics overcome a 24-point deficit to beat the Los Angeles Lakers 97-91 to take a 3-1 lead in the series to the NBA Finals. No team has ever come back from more than a 15-point deficit after the first quarter, and the Celtics post the biggest comeback in the finals since 1971. 2009, Pittsburgh's Max Talbot scores 2 seconds into the period, and the Penguins defeat the defending champions, the Detroit Red Wings, 2-1 in Game 7 to win the Stanley Cup at the Joe. 2011, the Dallas Mavericks win their very first NBA title, winning Game 6 over the Miami Heat, 105-95. Jason Terry scores 27 points, and Dirk Nowitzki adds 21 as well for the Mavericks to win the series in 5 games. 2016, Sidney Crosby sets up Chris Letang for the go-ahead goal midway through the second period. The Pittsburgh Penguins defeat the San Jose Sharks 3-1 in Game 6 to win Lord Stanley's Cup. 2017, Kevin Durant caps off his spectacular season with the Warriors by bringing home the NBA championship. Durant joined the Golden State Warriors the previous July, scoring 39 points in the finals, clinching a 129-1 victory over LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. 2019 Stanley Cup Finals, TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. St. Louis beats the Boston Bruins 4-1 in a 4-3 series victory for the first title to go to the St. Louis Blues. And this day, 2023, the Denver Nuggets beat the Miami Heat 94-89 to win their very first NBA championship. The series went to 5 games. The MVP, Denver's Nikola Jokic. All right, guys, good show today. Any parting thoughts or words of wisdom from you guys?
KFC toothpaste.
We must find Coach Haddad the KFC toothpaste.
I've found it on eBay for as little as $59.99.
There you go, guys.
So I'm looking for an angel investor here.
Mine would be check what the golf leaderboard is before placing a bet, even if it's just $1.
David Hayes, learning about betting through experience. But that is how we learn everything.
Your odds should have gone up.
Yeah, I know, right? 900 is not too bad, but...
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Well, guys, I am out for the day. We are running into the end of the show. Thank you guys so much tuning in, hanging out here on the Inside Drive. James Fife filling in for Ryan Mulvey on this Thursday. Paul Wilson will be with you guys tomorrow. Inside Drive, James Fife, Coach Haddad, thanks.
Remember to vote.
David Hayes, thank you. And keep your stick on the ice, everyone. Talk to you later.
The Atlanta Braves are back.
Here comes the throw. It's late. Braves win.
And ESPN Northwest Florida is your exclusive radio